Good evening. Happy Monday. Welcome to Creations by Gwili. I am Gwili. Ed's behind the camera. And he'll try to catch as many of your comments as he can. And if you have any questions about anything tonight, be sure, and I'm going to try to see if I can pull up, make sure we're on. But when you hop on, let us know you're here. That tells us that we're actually live too, and it looks like it's trying. That tells us that we're actually live. Yeah, Ed got his. Okay. I don't see any comments or anything yet, so. Hi, Karen. I see Karen's on, so we're going tonight. That's good. Hi, ladies. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight we're going to be making a cute little flower out of ribbon. But before we do that, we want to do our drawing. This is Monday, and every Monday we draw. Last week it was the 2 rolling pins.
Sandra Renshaw said hi, and Maria Francisco said hello. Thank
you, ladies, for commenting. That's the one thing that if you want any crafter that you find, or anybody basically on Facebook, used to Facebook would show about 10% of our followers, our posts and stuff. Now it's like 2%. So it's, you know, they're going to show you what they think you want to see. So you need to comment and follow people and things like that if you want to see things as they come up. But every Monday, at least for right now, we draw for our thank you gift. And this last week, it was hashtag fall. No, that I erased that from last week. But I'm pretty sure the word was fall. I went through about noon today, got all the names that did the hashtag fall, and it's because it is for these fall rolling pin words. And so it's going to be for those 2 rolling pins and a little.
I didn't see them.
Okay, 2 rolling pins, small mini rolling pins, the stencils, fall rolling pins. You've got the word pumpkin, autumn, thankful, and gather. Black paste, a squeegee, a stir stick, and then just a little piece of wood that you can paint and put whatever you want to on it. You could even decoupage a napkin on it if you wanted to for your tier tray, and then just a little container to put the paste in. If you don't use all the paste the first time you open it, put as much of it as you can get in this little container and put the lid on it, and it should last like 2 weeks. If it gets a little thick and chunky or whatever, add just a little bit of water and stir it really well. But anyway, that's what it was last week. So you had actually we went live on Tuesday last week, Tuesday and Thursday to put in, and I went through today and got all the names that everybody that did the hashtag fall. So we're going to draw and start off today with our winner. Let me move them around really good. Sometimes they kind of get stuck together in here. I'll make sure I just get 1, and I think that's 2. Okay. Nancy Hallstrom, I guess. Ahlstrom. That's who is going. Thank you, Nancy. And she is going to receive the blessing from last week. And we will, I'll leave her name on there, and if Ed sees her hop on, we'll tell her about that. Now for this week, I never know what he's doing, y'all. Okay, so thank all of you that participated.
I don't either.
Okay, so this week, I've got 3 little flowers here I want to show you that I made. And I kind of, Thursday we're going to do a craft using at least one of these flowers. I'm not sure which one, or Like these two are about the same size, and they are about 3.5 inches, which gives us 6-inch flower. Okay, and I discovered that when you use a ribbon that kind of has something on the edges, see this has the yellow, it just makes for a really pretty flower. And like you may not can see that, but this one has white kind of plastic edges. So it kind of gives a little bit of, it defines the petals a little bit. But you can do this with any ribbon. You can use, this is 1.5 inch. You can use the 2.5 inch or the 2-inch ribbon, but it would make a pretty big flower. I just like the 1.5 inch ribbon, but I'm choosing to do the same. I'm going to use some of this, and this is like a 50-yard roll, which is why I picked it to start with to play with my flowers, because I knew I had plenty of it. And then when I did them, I really liked them. This one is about a 4 or 4.5 inch. So, and it measures, let me get it down here with where my measuring is. It's a little larger. It's about 7 inches across, where this one's about 6 almost. You can go as small as you want. It just gets a little tedious, or you can make it as large as you want. This would be real pretty to make a bigger one and put in the center of the flowers made with the Unique in the Creek boards. Using the same ribbon that you use around your board, just make a big flower and put in the center, and that would be really pretty. You probably would have to use more pieces than I've used on these, but you could figure it out. So anyway, I'm going to show you another one out of the same ribbon, and I'm just going to kind of lay those right there. This would be, you could even put these, add these to a wreath, but we have a project coming Thursday. So you're going to need, of course, some ribbon. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need some glue, and you're going to need some cardboard. Now, our blessing for this week, of course, I'm going to give you ribbon. I'm going to pull off probably about 3 yards of this and give you, which would be plenty to make several flowers or a bow if you wanted to. And then I'm also going to give you your choice. I will give you this whole roll of ribbon that is like this, or if you don't want to go with the bee theme and you want to do something pretty for summer, this is a pink rose. These are pink roses. So you'll get to choose which of these. If you want it, you know, one bee and this, or the bee and something totally different. So it's going to be up to you. And your mystery word is hashtag ribbon flower. What's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, is everything going okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Sorry. My throat. If y'all ever have any trouble hearing, just be sure and let us know. I had someone tell me last week that it kept stopping and interrupting, and I've had Facebook do me that way, so I don't know if that was a replay or the live. But if there's ever any problems, y'all just let us know. But yeah, your mystery word for this week, phrase, hashtag ribbon flower. And I had to write it on the board so I'd remember. And you have tonight's live and Thursday night's live. And like I said, Thursday night we're going to do a project with one of these. I'm not sure which one, but I'm going to show you different ways to use it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, depending on the size of your flower, this is a pretty good size flower. Like I said, it's about 6 inches across. So if you want one about this size, and it would go on most, now you wouldn't put this on a little bitty piece of wood like I showed you for your tiered tray. You would want to go much smaller. You might even try to do one 2 inches. And so what you're going to need, though, for this is 12 pieces of ribbon, cut whatever length you want to do them. And there's several ways you can do that. You can measure it out on your board, you know, 3.5 inches, fold it. Well, let me do 3.5 inches here, from 10 to 13.5. You can just fold it like this to where they're all the same size. And depending on your scissors, you can fold it as many times as you want to. That was 4. And then you can just cut it. You can do it that way. You can get you a piece of cardboard, measure it the length you want. This one is 3.5 inches. And then you just wrap your ribbon around it. So it would be like 1, 2, 3. This is a very simple way to do any of your ribbon tails. And then that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I had 4 here, right? Yeah, so that would give me 12 pieces. And then you just cut it here, slide your cardboard out, cut it here, cut it here. Of course, it looks like, you know, those are little pieces of ribbon. But that's all you need, is small pieces. I'll put that back in there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut these. So you should have 12 pieces of ribbon cut at about 3.5 inches. Now this ribbon, it's very easy to tell the right side and the wrong side. I mean, you still see the black, but you don't have those B's right there. Now this one is a little bit harder, but if you look at it, you can tell what's the right side and what's the wrong side.
One side looks bigger.
Well, the stripe is bigger. See, this is the sewn. You can use whatever side you want to. I like the bigger stripe, so that's the one I went with. Some ribbon is actually white on one side, so you know, you just need to decide, because they all need to be the same. Now, everyone that I've done so far, I've done the whole flower in the same ribbon. If you wanted to mix up these and do 6 of the black and yellow and 6 of these, you certainly could. But all the ones I've done,
Rose Francis just checking in.
Hey Barbara, we're making some flowers out of ribbon. You know, I showed y'all how to do the ones with the material, and we'll probably do that again for spring. I mean, for fall, once I get some pretty pumpkin material and stuff. But I wanted to show you how you could just take a roll of ribbon, and see, it doesn't take a whole lot at all. But you can do projects and make your own little bow to match whatever ribbon you put on your projects. So you're going to need your glue. I would suggest, if your glue gun has a setting for low and high, set it on low. That way you won't be burned as bad. Because you're going to be pinching this and touching. All right, once you have your ribbon, then you want to do the exact opposite of what we normally do when we cut a dovetail. You're going to want to point on your ribbon. So I never take more than 2 pieces at a time. One end you want left straight, but you're going to take your ribbon and you're going to fold it. Normally we go from the fold to the wire, but this time you're going to turn it and do from the fold back to the wire, but at a downward motion to where you have a V, a point. That's the point of your flower. And you want a pretty good point, and I'm really not supposed to be cutting ribbon with these scissors, but do you see how you have a point? So you want to do all your petals that way. They don't have to be exact. You just want a pretty good angle to where you have a pretty good point on your ribbon. And this one, I don't think it matters whether the bee's going up or down. I mean, they're all over the place on the ribbon, so. So you're going to have 12, almost like an arrow type thing.
A bookmark.
Yeah, a really short bookmark. You have to really think to do the opposite of what you normally do with ribbon. You could probably curve them or scallop them. This is just such a small flower, it was easier to do the points. Ladies, if this is the first time you're here, be sure and tell us first time watching and where you're from. Okay, so you've got 12 pieces of ribbon. By the time you cut a point on it, you're still, from the point, you're still about 3.5 inches. Okay, let me move all that out of the way. The next thing you want to do, just to make it easier, is you want to take a piece of cardboard, and it doesn't have to be perfect. See, these, I cut little bitty circles here. You just want a circle. Now, if it's easier for you to put something on it, this is probably a little bit too big, but this is just a lid to some vitamin D, I think. Draw you a circle. That just gives you the base where you're going to glue your petals on. And just, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just cut out that circle. Depending on how big your petals are, if your petals are, 5 inches, you might want a little bit larger circle. But I just cut out a circle. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do, and you're going to do this for every petal, take the petal and turn it over and find the bad side, the wrong side, basically. Let me put my glasses on. But you're gonna fold it with the wrong side in. Okay? Then you're going to put just a little bit of glue right in the middle. This is what makes your flower puff a little bit. You might want to use something, not your fingers, but if your glue is on low, then it doesn't really burn your fingers. So you're going to do 4 petals to where you just glue it in the middle. Okay, so that's one. And you should be able to see the good side of the ribbon right there. And it just takes a little drop of glue, fold it and pinch it together. And we're going to do 4 like that. You're going to kind of make your flower in layers. And the first layer is made a little bit different than the ones on top of it. Now, if you have these little glue finger things or whatever, I never can get them to fit my hand right, but you might want to protect your fingers. And you're going to have glue strings. There's just no way to not. And I'm just putting a little bitty drop in the center of those 4 petals. Okay? And glue strings are everywhere. Okay, now what I want to do is glue my petals to the bottom of the flower. And on these, you kind of want the edges a little bit open. Does that make sense? But you want that piece in the middle because that's what lets you fluff your petal up. But these, we're just going to put a little bit of glue on our wood, and then you're going to put it down and kind of pinch them together.
Wood
Kind of like that.
Cardboard.
It's cardboard. Did I say wood?
Yeah.
You definitely could use wood if you wanted to, but that's kind of expensive. This is just cardboard. Okay, so there I've got one petal on there. Now what I do is I go across to the other side and put another one. And you can scrunch it together a little bit if you want to, and then just hold it down for a minute. Okay, and then you're going to go to this side and put down another one. This is just your first layer. And then here, and do another one. So that's your first 4, just to kind of get the base. All right, does that make sense so far? So you just do the circle, and you've got an X, or you've got a kind of like a cross, and they don't have to be perfect. See, this one probably should have come this way a little bit, but that's okay. So that's what we've got so far, just on a cardboard.
Am I in close enough, ladies, where y'all can see what?
You might try to go in just a little bit more so they can see when I start layering these. Okay, now you're going to take your petals and you're going to do the same thing. Go to the, you can do them all at once if you want to. Go to the middle and pinch it in the middle. But here's where you're going to do the rest of the petals a little different than we did these. You're going to take each end of this petal, put just a drop of glue on each end, and fold it back up to the middle. Does that make sense? It just gives it a little bit more puffiness. So basically you've got a fold, kind of like an accordion fold, like this. And I would say you would have to use wired ribbon for this because that's what helps you give it the little thing. Okay, so we're going to do 4 of those. This is the wrong side of my ribbon. I'm putting just a drop of glue, folding it together.
In other words, you're putting the good side out.
Yes, the good side is facing me. But now I'm going to turn each end, just like this. Take the ends, and you're going to turn them back up. You can either put it on the tip here, turn it back up. Or you can put it on the end, it doesn't matter which end you put it. You could put it on the inside and then fold the end up. So that's what you've got. See, where these, we left the outers so they could kind of go down. But these, you want them a little bit more. And this is where you might burn your fingers a little bit. But if you've got your glue gun, you're mainly just going to have glue strings everywhere. Okay, I'm going to put a little in the middle, fold it to where I can see the good side of the ribbon, and then I'm going to fold each end back. You can do them one at a time, you can do them at the same time. And you could do all 8 petals if you want to. Then we'll start building. But that's 4. We'll just do 4 and then 4 more in case somebody comes on late. Okay, fold it in the middle. When I first did my first one, my glue gun was not set on low temp, and I did burn 2 fingers. So if your If your glue gun has a low temp, that's what you want it on, because you actually can touch that glue and it's not going to make a blister. Okay. So now we've got those 4 petals, and I've got glue on my fingers. So now what we're going to do is take these 4 petals and go in between these 4. So you go in between these 2 petals, you're layering and building, and you're just going to put that one on there and push it down into that glue. Use your little fingers if you need to, and as you're pushing, just make sure that you can kind of fluff it up like that. Then I'm going to go between these 2, put my glue right there, and push this one in there. And if you can push it down almost flat, that's good. All right, does that make sense? I went between. Now I'm going to put one here and one here. And as you build it, you're going to get where your petals are pretty much touching in the middle, because you don't want a whole lot of space in the middle. And the bigger your circle is, the more space you're going to have, so you might need to come in a little bit. Okay, and then this is the last one on this layer. And you have to push a little bit to get the
Pam Webster said, is there a video to watch as I missed the beginning?
You can go back and watch the replay of this. I don't know. I just came up with this. There may be, you may could go to YouTube and just type in ribbon flower and you might find it. But you can go back and watch the replay. All I did was take, for this size flower, take ribbon and cut it to 3.5 inches. You need 12 pieces. Then you need a little piece of cardboard, a little circle. Mine is probably, this one's a little big, but I mean, you can see I did just a little bitty piece here. That one just has a, it's not even a circle, it looks oblong. You're not going to see it. Okay, so that we have 8 petals on here. All right, this is what you have.
Karen said one petal's backwards.
Upside, oh, it is. Thank you, Karen. It is. Let's see how good my glue is. I probably could heat it.
Well, I missed that. I enjoyed telling her what she's wrong.
Good eyes, Karen. I guess you can see okay. It was backwards. All right, let's do that again. You know, that's what I get for trying to craft and talk at the same time.
I just hate I missed it.
And you can tell my glue was sticking pretty good too. I use Gorilla Glue sticks, by the way.
She said, Karen said that was just for you then.
See, you weren't paying attention, Ed. And what I like to do is kind of take them and just...
Yeah, but I got advantage. I can't see.
You can't see. Well, maybe after a couple of weeks you can. All right, we have one more layer to do with all the glue strings. But do you see what I mean when your ribbon has something on the edges, how it just kind of outlines the petal? Okay.
Karen says, I got you back in.
Good thing somebody does. Okay, so we've got 4 petals left. You're going to take them and do the same thing where you can see the good side. Put it on the wrong side, just a little bit. Fold it. Just give it a second to dry. And then you're going to fold it back on itself on each side. That's what causes your petals to have a little bit of fullness and not lay flat. So that's kind of what you got. Now, what I was talking about, see, you've got a little bit of height there, so when you glue it, you want to kind of push this side down a little bit. But then you can always take your petal and kind of, just like we would when we fluff our ribbons and stuff, you just push underneath it to where it pops up. Okay, there's one. And like I said, if somebody wants to try some 2.5-inch ribbon, you'll have to send me a picture. I'm thinking it would make a pretty big flower though. All right, I'm putting just, it doesn't take much glue. Fold it back on itself. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then hold it and just kind of fluff it up a little bit. And your finger sticks to the petal.
Karen Hunter said red 2.5 would make a pretty poinsettia.
I bet it would too, with a gold center. You know, you probably could even do this. I'm wondering, is the velvet ribbon wired? I think most of it is. That red velvet ribbon. When I pull out my Christmas, I may have to try that. I was thinking more along the lines of just any ribbon and how I could match, you know, a flower or something on it in the same ribbon that you've done your ribbon tails with. And of course, I love this bee ribbon, which is why I bought the 50-yard roll. And if y'all do a lot with ribbon, I think I paid, you can get the 50-yard rolls pretty cheap sometimes. I bought this from Craft Outlet, and I didn't put a price on it.
Pam Webster said, those are so cute. What are you going to do with them after you finish making?
Well, tune in Thursday, and I will show you. We're going to use at least one of them. We may use 2 of them on our project Thursday. I have a magnolia stencil that says Be Kind, B-E-E kind, and we're going to make a project with that. And I'm going to use the same ribbon on my project and then put one of these bows on it. I just don't know which one. And I may try to just cut the ribbon at 2 inches and see how small of a flower I can make. You know, it's going to be the same width, so it wouldn't affect any of this. It would just affect how far it comes out.
She says, sounds great. Same time?
Yes, ma'am, 6 o'clock. Okay, so now you had your 4, then you went in between. Now we're going to go in between these 2 right here.
Peggy Ford says, hello from Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi, Peggy. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so I'm just putting that in between it and pushing on it. And again, I should use the little finger so I don't burn myself. Okay, now I'm going to go between the 2 here. I kind of want my center kind of sitting down a little bit, which is one reason that I'm pushing flattening these just a little. Now you could do this same thing. I don't know if y'all remember how we did the fabric flowers, but you took the thread or the floss and ran through it, a stitch, and then gathered it. You could kind of do the same thing. You just have a little bit more control of how they lay when you do them individually, one petal at a time. Where when we ran it through, it was just like one layer, like one row of petals. That one looks like it might be a tad shorter than the one next to it, but that's okay too. Flowers aren't perfect. All right, this is the last one. I may have put that one a little bit more towards the center to make sure I could fill in that center. You can always go back and trim them and make them shorter. Okay, I'm just kind of using my nail to hold that one down, and I'm just like lifting up and under it so that they will kind of curl. Okay, so there's our flower. Oops. And you see the back? You got your 4 on the base, and then you have another 4, and then you have another 4. You could keep going. If you wanted to do 4 more and make it even thicker, you could. We could do one color here and another color in between and another color on top. Okay, now once you get your flower, there's a lot of things you could do in the middle. You could put bling in the middle. You can tell on this one I used a large button and then I put a little one on top. This one I used a pom-pom, and then this one I used a smaller button and a small button on top. So
Karen says that's so stinking cute.
it is cute. Now this one, let me see what a black pom-pom looks like in the middle. All right, I think I'm going to do the black pom-pom on this one. And it doesn't take any time to make them. And I just love it that you can do it with whatever ribbon you've got. You probably can even layer these pom-poms, come to think of it. Let's see. If you did one out of fall ribbon that's a little glittery or whatever, you could use those little scatter balls that they sell at Hobby Lobby. All right, that one, it sets up to, if I could squish it down, it would look cute, wouldn't it? I don't want it to look like an ice cream cone, though. It would need to really go down in there. Oh, I know what I could do. I think I have some little bitty bees. I'm going to leave it black, just like that. I'm not going to put anything else. But now you can, you can get these pom-poms in any color and size. You can buy buttons. Like I said, you could put a little bling in there. I may see if I can get a little bee and put on this one. So this may be the one we use on the project Thursday, if I can add a bee to it or something. And that's it. Like I said, and then when you go to use them, I mean, you can layer them. You could do like a wreath of some sort and put 3 flowers on it.
Jackie Stevens said you could have cut it in half.
Yeah, the pom-pom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I might have a bee. I'll wait and see, because you can always add something later. But it's different, so that's kind of what I wanted. But that's how quick and easy it is to make these flowers. And like I said, your mystery word for this week is ribbon flower. Yeah. So I will cut you off enough of this ribbon off this 50-yard roll. I'll give you about 3 yards. And then I'll also give you your choice of one of these rolls. This one has pretty I don't know, Ed, can you get closer to the thing? Or we could wait and do that Thursday.
Yeah, I'm picking it up.
It's pink roses. It's a real pretty ribbon, and it came from Unique in the Creek. And then this one came from the wreath shop, and it's like, whoop, it's the black and yellow like this. So you'll get your choice of these, but you will get the bee ribbon too, and hashtag ribbon flower. And we will, and even if you're watching this on replay, you still can put in the hashtag ribbon flower and be eligible to go in our blessing bag. Next Monday, I will go through and pick out everybody that says ribbon flower and put your name in our bag, and we will draw next Monday night. So Thursday night, like I said, we're actually going to do a stencil on a board and use one of these flowers and ribbon to decorate that board to go on. I don't know if I'll put it in my Etsy shop or if I'll put it on my fireplace. Who knows? Or if I'll give it away. You never know. But that's it for tonight. I appreciate y'all being here. And don't forget to share this to any of your friends that you think might like this craft. I'm basically a wreath maker, but y'all know from the lives I've done in the past, most of the time it takes a while to make a wreath, and sometimes you don't get to finish it. Speaking of which, we did the pancake wreath last Thursday, and I don't know if y'all saw my pictures, but I went and added, they're almost like twigs, they're brown curly things, and that's what I decided I wanted to add to it. But I made another one that if you didn't see it, Ed, go out there and bring me that wreath that's got the church on it. I like it better than I do the birdhouse. But I probably have enough of this mesh now to do one more wreath. But we do wreaths, but I do magnolia design stencils. My goal is to show you how that you can make some very cute home decor on a budget. All right, this is the other wreath that I did probably the next day, and it says Amazing Grace. Am I holding it straight?
Yes.
And you can tell on the ribbons I did a little bit different. I did a little bow all the way around on the top, and then I just put these little half beads on it. But I thought this one turned out really, really cute, and it's done on a frame from the Dollar Tree, and I still need to go and like cut a few of the things.
Rosecrans wants to know if you heard about the new board yet.
No, because I haven't been watching any of the lives. Has she announced what it is?
Megan Forbes says that's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that one turned out real pretty. I put it on my Etsy shop today for just $49.95, which is a really good price. $10 shipping. No, I haven't heard anybody say what the new board is, but I'm sure we'll all have to have one to give it a try. The one thing I haven't tried is like the angel wings. Well, I haven't made a butterfly on the Unique in the Creek boards either. I just hadn't gotten around to it. But invite your friends to join us. And like I said, I go live every Monday at 6 and every Thursday at 6. And we do some sort of craft. It's time, y'all believe it or not, to start fall. I've already started a list of Christmas and crafts and pumpkins and Christmas trees and stuff that we're going to do. So y'all tune in, invite your friends to tune in, and the more you comment and share the videos and stuff, the more Facebook will show you when I post. You know, I told you here a couple of weeks ago, it was crazy. There was one post I did, and I forgot now what it was, but I can look at the stats to see how many people that it went out to and how many commented and all that stuff. Facebook showed it to 2 people out of over 6,000 followers. It's crazy, and I don't know what else to do, you know. to get my name out there. So I would appreciate any help that y'all could give me. And so, like I said, if you're watching the replay, then you're still eligible for our drawing, which will be the ribbon. So ribbon flower is your keyword for this week. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you back Thursday at 6 o'clock. Y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.